Morning folks. I've had a bit of an issue. Disasters struck and the natural Cory tank. We've had some fatalities this week. Timing is really bad as I'm about to go on a vacation, and I've got a neighbour coming in to look after them. But we've had 4 Corys in the past 7 days die from this tank. Water quality is fine. There's no ammonia, no nitrates less than 10, and the deaths are just unexplained. But this morning, after one more death, basically I decided I can't risk losing what's left in that tank, so they've been taken out and they've been put in another tank because obviously there is an issue with this. I do have some bristlenose fry in here, and there's some shrimps in here as well, and those will stay in. But and if you just have a look, we do have some eggs which were laid just a few days ago. Oh, well, there we are, one of the shrimps just there, the gimbal, there we are. So one shrimp there. So they did lay eggs about 3 days ago, and we've got some there and here. Now some are fertile and the white ones are unfertile, but what we decided to do was basically just leave these eggs in the tank as soon as we're going away and just let them fend for themselves. The issue that has come to light is that although it's advisable with Corys to have them on a sand substrate, what I have is I have a deep substrate, and I don't know if you can see very well, but if I just point out, just here, there's pockets of air, and it's possible that those air pockets are what is causing the problem. I did read this on a forum this morning, and there's quite a few as you go along there, and what I have read is that these gases can be poisonous to Corys. So it's advisable to just have a 1 centimetre or 2 centimetre deep base of sand. That way that anaerobic bacteria can't build up in the substrate and cause these gases. So what we've done, we've moved them into this lower tank, and we've got some bristlenose in here. We've got Shirley, she's doing really well. We did have a bit of an issue with her not so long back, but she's absolutely brilliant now. And but we do have 5 Bronze Corys in here which were in the tank above, and Duplicarius as well. So they're going to stay in here for the 2 weeks. My neighbour's going to come in and he's going to look after them. But then when we come back, what we will do, we will alter this tank and remove quite a bit of the sand and see how we go. If it comes to it, we might just have to put some new Corys in, start again. That's if the ones below don't survive. But what I did, I put catapon leaves in, and I mean this tank's a mess now because I had to fight with the decor to get the remaining Corys out. But I mean, otherwise the tank is doing really well. We've got a bit of algae, we did have a snail issue, which you can see there's a few dead snail shells. Excuse me, I'm a little bit on the thirsty side, but yeah, and a bit of algae. but some of that is due to the window that we've got just to the side there. So so just going forward over the next few weeks, I'm not about. So I've got a neighbour that's coming in, and he's going to feed all my tanks. They've got 13 tanks in total, and some of those, there's a few that are empty, and I've got shrimp tanks that won't need a lot of looking after. The main ones are the big one that I have downstairs, my 4-foot tank. Okay, so this is now a couple of days since we got back from holiday, roughly about 2.5 weeks since we last filmed. As you're aware, we had a disaster in this tank. We lost a number of Corys, Bronze Corys, and that was down to toxic gases which are built up in the substrate. Now, as you can see, these gases are a little bit more pronounced now. There's a lot more of them in the substrate since we last filmed. There's a lot of algae build-up as well. The sun's a little bit brighter now. While I was away, I didn't have any lighting on the tank itself, and it was just getting natural sunlight from the window to the side. Now, the good news is that the fish that we did have in here, the Corys, which were transferred into this lower tank, we've had no other fatalities, and as you can see, they are very, very active. It's probably because they're looking for food. It's getting near feeding time, and being close to the tank, and there we are with Shirley. So they've survived. We've had no more fatalities, which is good news. The other bonus is, some of you, well, you will have seen, hang on, whoa, this gimbal, let's sort that out. Right, so as you're aware, we did have eggs which have been laid just before we went away. Now, those are no longer about. The eggs themselves have disappeared, but what we do have, and they've all seen, oh, there we are. I think you can just see that one. Oh, there's 2 in there, maybe 3. And we do have some baby Corys in here, and they're doing really, really well. Now, I have counted about 10 at any one time, so I believe, sort of doubling that, we've probably got about 20 in here. My problem at the moment is I was wanting to basically deal with these gases and strip the tank down and rebuild it, but I think I'm going to leave it for a few more weeks just to allow the baby Corys. There's one of the albino bristlenose fry. There's not a lot of action in here, to be honest. There was earlier. As you can see, there's just on that rock there, there's a baby Cory. We do have, the snail population's increased a little bit, and we do have a lot of debris on top of this, the sand, and that I'm going to clear out, give it a bit of a clear out later on, and check for any baby Corys. So the good news is that although the tank we basically were thinking was dead, we do still have some life in it, and we've got the regeneration of some additional baby Corys. And when we've finished, because what I'll do, I will probably reduce it. Let me just get 1 second. Right, so what I've done, I've just got a tape measure, and as you can see, the substrate's roughly about 2 inches, just over 2 inches, and 6 centimeters in depth. So what I'm looking at doing is reducing that to 2 to 3 centimeters, but it will mean totally redoing the aquascape on this tank. Anyway, there's another one of the Corys, baby Corys there. So that was a bit of a bonus coming back to. Really pleased about that. But like I say, what I don't want to do at this moment in time is disturb all this substrate and release the toxic gases into the water. Now, why won't the camera focus? There we are. And then kill off any additional fry that we've got in there. What I'm going to have to do possibly is look at, I do have a grow on tank for Corys in the fish room, and once these are a little bit bigger and we can catch them, we will obviously take them down there and let them grow on in the grow on tank. So that's it for now. Going on holiday has been a success in the sense that, as you'll have seen in the other video, we did have a neighbour come through, and we did have a definite plan as with regards to feeding. And the only issue that we had was in this tank, we have some cubensis fry growing on. As you can see, they're all coming round because I think I'm feeding them. Now in here we've got one bristlenose, and that's a huge one there, but if you can just see it. So these are growing on really well, and these will be going up for sale very soon. But like I said, we do have a we have a bristlenose in this tank, and we also have the male cubensis in here, and we did have an angel. Now, although the angel, there's the male cubensis just hiding down there. Now he can be he's becoming a bit of a bully. So whenever there's food about, he's nipping a little bit. So it might be a case of having to feed, but they have been on sort of give them enough food to keep them alive whilst we've been away. Now, what I was going to say was there was an angel in here, and when we got back, the angel did survive and was swimming around, but we did feed them, and the next morning, unfortunately, the angel had popped out of the tank. It jumped out of the tank somehow. Now I've got a feeling that because I've never known angels jump before, and I've got a feeling he must have chased the angel with regards to food, and the angel, trying to escape, has jumped out of the tank. And that, except for one shrimp, is the only fatalities that I've come across in the 2 weeks. Now, the last time we went away, we did have major problems because we used auto feeders, and unfortunately the auto feeder dumped everything in the tank, and we had a right mess and fatalities when we came back. There's the bristlenose, just there. And very shortly we'll be introducing a female, and see if we can get some young. That's a beauty male. He's very big. Okay, thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.